Okay. So, oh, let's move this stuff around, then we can start. Don't try to give me strawberries. Arr, they're cold. So we're answering review questions. Chapter 2. So we did the evens together. Whoops. We said this one was the 40-ounce bag. So now let's just knock out the odds so we can all get an A tomorrow. So number 1, what's the unit price for a 64-ounce bag shown in the table? So here is 64 ounces. Anytime we see unit price, or really any sort of unit rate, we divide. This is the review. So anytime you have money, you're going to want to put that inside the house. Instead of $15.99, to make this easier, let's just call it 16. So we have 64 divided by 16, which cannot go into 16, so we add a decimal and a 0. 64 will go into 160 2 times, so that's 128 with 32 left over. And 64 will go into 320 5 times. So it is 25 cents per, and the size is ounce. Okay, so if all you want is unit rate, you just divide, and that's it. Okay, number 3, what is the constant rate of change? What does the constant rate of change of each line represent? So if it just wants to know, it's not asking about numbers, it's just what does it represent, so it's just what are we comparing? So we're comparing money to months in terms of monthly savings. So you can say savings, dollars per month. So no math there, just reading what it's about. Okay, it's going pretty quickly. Hello. So cyclists were 3/5 finished with the ride when they reached the 15-kilometer mark. How long was their ride? So 2 ways we could do this. We could make a proportion. We could say part done to total, and then say they did 3 out of 5 parts. And then when they reach the 15 kilometers, so that's not the whole thing, that's just how far they've gone, so that's out of some number. And then we could cross multiply. So 15 times 5 is 75. And then divide that by the number we didn't just use. So 75 divided by 3 is 25. So we could say their ride was 25 kilometers. Okay, that is a big step up. Good job, little broomstick. Let's see, the other way we could have done this, we said 3/5. So if we say, here's a bicycle. I don't know how a bicycle looks. And then there's a handlebars and a seat and a person. Okay, totally, that's a bicycle. So it's 3/5. So if we say our ride is split into 5 totally equal parts. Okay. This is terrible lines etcher. Hold on. Let me. Okay, 5 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If 3 of those parts were 15 kilometers, so we could split this up 15 by 3, which means each little section would be 5 kilometers. So if each one is 5 kilometers, what would the total distance be? So if we just added all those up, 5 times 5, 25. Okay. All right, 7 and 9 are proportions. So we just have to answer these. we have k over 13 equals 0.6 over 0.5. So if we cross multiply here, so we have 13 times 0.6, so that's 18 with a decimal point. So that's 7.8 divided by 0.5. I don't know who any of these people are. Except for Adrian. I don't know an Adrian though. If we're dividing by 0.5, I'm going to move this decimal over, so I'm not dividing by decimals at all. So I get, how many times is 5 going to 78? So 5 goes into 7 once, right? 2, bring down the 8. 5 goes into 28 5 times. I'm in Mrs. Geyer's. That makes sense. 28 minus 25, that's 3. So we're going to add decimal. And 5 goes into 30 6 times. So 15.6. And then we can check it. If we look, 0.6 is a little bit more than 0.5. So k should be a little bit more than 13, and 15.6 is a little bit more than 13. Okay. So then number 9, we have 6.5 v over, or equals, rather, 3 times 11.7. So this is a little ugly. That's okay. We like to multiply. So 11.7 times 6.5. Dylan. I don't know Dylan either. Also, hello to everyone else. Make sure you're sending Snapchat messages to your friend and tell them to watch. You get our view count up. Gotta get that silver play button. What are we doing? 7 times 5 is 35. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 3 is 8. 5 times 1 is 5. Before we go to the 6, we bring down to 0. 6 times 7 is 42. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 4 is 10. And then 7 here. I'm going to take your word for that. I don't know about YouTube people. So 7605, and then we count up our decimal places. We have 1 up top, 1 in the bottom. So we need 2 in our answer. So we have 76.05. This is a pain. And then we're going to divide all that by 3. So 76.05 divided by 3. So 3 will go into 7 twice. 3 will go into 16 5 times. There's our decimal. 3 goes into 10 3 times. And 3 goes into 15 5 times. So after all that, 6.5 over 25.35 equals 3 over 11.7. What is the app this is on? You need this is just a smartboard software. It's the same thing we have at school. What are we doing? 25.35. I know these numbers are bad, but we're just practicing solving equations. Okay. So number 11, a little bit easier. Find the rate of change from the table. So rate of change, what's it going up by? So our miles, 132 minus 66 is 66. That's nice. 4 minus 2 is 2. So our rate is, kind of ran out of room here. Let's put it down on the bottom. So 66 miles every 2 hours. So if we simplify that, divide both of them by 2, we'd get 33 miles per hour. And that's all it is. So if you want rate of change from a table, you find the change in y, the change in x, and then simplify the fraction. Okay. Let's get rid of this arrow and all this. Alright, 13, what's the constant of proportionality for the graph on the right? So remember, constant of proportionality is just a fancy word for rates of change. So we pick a couple points on the graph, and then we just see how much did it change by. So it went from 3 to 6, so 6 minus 3 is 3. And then it went from 2 to 4, so 4 minus 2 is 2. So our rate of change is 3 over 2. Okay, so 3 divided by 2, because we want to simplify this, is 1.5, right? 30 divided by 2 is 15. 3 divided by 2 is 1.5. And then we just put some words with it. So it's 1.5, and then y is our cost. So $1.50 per whatever x is, which in this case is pound, for nails. So nails cost $1.50 per pound. That may be true. I don't know. I don't really buy nails that often. I don't even know if they're talking about like nails for hammering or like human nails, like those plastic fake ones people use. Could be either. Okay. On the back side, almost done. Like 4 questions left. 5 questions left. Janelle can buy a 24-pack of bottled water for $6.60. Write an equation relating the cost to the number of bottles. Toenails. Gross. I don't know why toenails are grosser than fingernails, but they are. So if it gives us this, and we want to find the cost for a bottle, we would say that's the unit rate. And we said anytime it's unit rate, we just divide. So $6.60 divided by 24. So 24 can't go into 6, but it can go into 66 2 times. That's 48. So 66 minus 48 is 18. And I would assume this is 5, but let's check. No, that's not 5. I don't think this is going to come out well. Let's try 6. It's 24 times 6 is 4. 144. I think we can do better. 24 times 7. So that's 8, 2, 168. Okay. So 27 cents. Let's keep going. Oh, 168. Normally I'd stop here because it's money. We only need 2 decimal places. You can get nail in your, or dirt in your fingernails too. Ew, how do you get dirt in your toenails? Wear socks. Oh my goodness. If we had another 0 though. So 24, this one's times 5. So it's actually 0.275 cents per bottle. Okay. Toes only smell if you don't wash them. Wash your feet every once in a while. And wear socks. Ugh. So let's leave it like this. I know it's money, but let's be exact. Because we need to be exact. So if we want to write our equation, we could say cost equals the rate per bottle times the number of bottles. So there's our equation. And this is proportional. There's no plus or minus at the end. So 0.275b. And then wants to know how much would you have to pay for a 12-pack of bottled water. So what we could do is we could just take that rate we came up with and multiply by 12. And that'll give us an answer. Or, if we're super smart about it, going from 24 to 12. which is half as much, right? Half as many bottles. So we're going to have half as much of a cost. This is just 660 divided by 2, which is 330. So you could check it. You could say, what's 0.275 times 12? And just because I'm not confident, because I'm over here talking about toenails and I might be making mistakes, let's check this. 5, 7, 2. This should be 330. Hopefully. 10, 3, 3 with 1, 2, 3 decimal places. Thank goodness you got the answer. So how much would a 12-pack of bottled water be at this rate? It would cost $3.30. That is our answer for number 15. Okay, that's it for that one. 17. Who earns more per hour? Explain. Okay, let's explain it. So Jamie, if we look at the chart, we can find rate of change. This is going up +8, +8, and his hours are going up by 1. So we can say Jamie makes $8. Whoops. $8 per hour. Okay. Then we look at Ryan over here. Ryan gives us a graph instead of a table. So it's a little hard to tell because it's between the lines here, but if we fill in our blanks, so if here's 5 and 10, this line between it would be 7.5. And between 10 and 15 is 12.5. Okay, and it's somewhere in between those. Right? So in reality, this guy's not making that much money. So we can say it's between 12.5 and 15. So let's call this 2, 14. And let's call this, because it's a little bit less than 7.5, so let's call it 1, 7. That makes sense. Because then we can say he made $7 in 1 hour. So Ryan makes $7 an hour. So who makes more money? That's Jamie. Because 8 is more than 7. If you don't believe me, look at your fingers. Count them up. Alright, almost there. This one doesn't seem so bad. 19 6-ounce box is 72 cents. 3-ounce box is 27 cents. What's the difference in cost per ounce between the big and small boxes? So if we want cost per ounce, that's unit rate. We said that's division. So we have 72 cents divided by 6 and 27 cents divided by 3. And this isn't so bad, even though there's decimals, because 6 goes into 72 12 times, and 3 goes into 27 9 times. So the difference between 9 cents and 12 cents is $0.3, 3 cents per ounce. So the better deal, if you were out buying pudding and needed to save a little bit of money, you would buy the little boxes, right? Because if you bought 2 of these little boxes, right, 3 ounces plus 3 ounces is 6 ounces, but you'd only pay 27 cents times 2, which is 54 cents. So you would save 18 cents on pudding. It's an amazing bargain. Not really. But there is a difference. And our last one, Lincoln Elementary has 651 students, 31 teachers. The total number of students in middle school is 1197. How many teachers does the middle school have if it's the same teacher-student ratio as the elementary school? Okay, so we're comparing students, teachers. If all we're doing is comparing two things, and it says we want to keep the same ratio, which means we want a proportion. So let's say teachers, because they always come first. Students, they come last. So at the elementary school is 31 to 651 equals. Then at the middle school, they have 1,197 students. We want to know how many teachers do they have. Oh boy. So we would have to cross multiply and then divide. But I don't want to do that because that sounds bad. What if? Okay. So instead of doing that, I'm going to try to simplify this because I just checked it and we can. So I'm going to try to simplify 31 over 651. So I'm going to say, whoops, 31 over 651. What can I divide both those by? Well, 31 is prime. So I'm just going to try to divide by 31. Okay. So what is 651 divided by 31? That's 262. Oh, look at this. 21. So instead of 31 over 651, which is terrible, we can say the ratio simplifies to 1 teacher for every 21 students. And then this is a much more manageable problem. So in 7th grade, anytime it gives you bad numbers in fraction form, you can usually simplify. So now if I multiply, 1 times 1197 is 1197. I still have to divide, but now I'm just dividing by 21, which is much better than the alternative of having to divide by 651, because I did not memorize my 651 times table. That'd be fun, though. You should do that. Come in tomorrow. Tell Ms. Geyer the multiplication facts for the 651 times table. She'll be so impressed with you. 21 times 5 is 1. No, it's not. Why did I say 110? 21 times 5 is 105. I'm bad at math. So 119 minus 105 is 14. Bring down 7. I think this is going to be 7. I hope it's 7. So otherwise we're going to get fractional teachers. We don't want that. And it is. So if we have exactly 1,197 students, in order to keep the ratio of 1 teacher for 21 kids, you would need to hire 57 highly trained teachers. And that's it. So a lot of what you need to know for tomorrow is how to do proportions, how to find rate of change, and just very small amounts of converting from one unit to another. So look it over in your book, or you can ask a relevant math question before I leave. Other than that, I'm done. Looks like we scared everyone off. So much for my 50,000 viewers. Alright, good luck tomorrow then. Have fun.